How's it going, everybody? But I'm going to be talking about redemption. It can apply to so many things. Um, it doesn't matter where you come from, what you've done in the past, because with redemption, if you want to change your life and make it better, it doesn't matter whether, I'm not going to say necessarily, it doesn't matter if you believe in God or if you're an atheist. But one thing we all need is that we all need faith and belief. And there has to be a positive force, a positive belief that whatever you want to do in life, you can do it. And I'm not talking about a self-indulgent, greedy, but I'm talking about a significance where if you are really successful, you don't just go buy a bunch of things and, in a way, there's nothing wrong with that as long as you have balance. But some people will completely do all of that and never help anybody else. And the bottom line, somebody helped you, whether directly or indirectly. We don't learn through osmosis, meaning that no one has had an effect on you. Whether directly or indirectly, somebody paved the way for us in terms of knowledge, information, everything. But redemption, it doesn't matter what happened in the past. Do learn from it. Don't repeat the bad things of the past. Don't do the bad things of the past. But you can be successful and do whatever you want to do. So far my journey is marketing, or more specifically affiliate marketing. And actually there were two other things that I was studying before this. One of them was stock trading. I guess I shouldn't drop names, but there's many different sources if you want to study or learn a craft or a skill. I've dabbled in Amway. My parents dabbled in Amway. And it's been in the wisdom and history as I think of the big picture of things. I learned from those things. I saw things. And all of us have to select someone to mentor us, because the most successful people always have someone who has mentored them, whether directly or indirectly. And my next step is I have to get coaching in this business. And because what I'm doing on my own isn't really working very well. But a lot of people are just negative about any kind of change or anything. And, you have to remain optimistic and with an open mind. And a lot of times, we'll be around people that are negative. There could be other motives as well. But the bottom line is you have to not be afraid to make decisions when other people are going to make decisions for you. And then at the same time, you have to ask yourself, well, why are they doing that anyway? What is their motive? What concern is it of theirs? But at any rate, redemption, it doesn't matter where you are in your life. There's always room for improvement, a better place that you can be, a better space. I'm working at this job right now, and it's cool. But at the same time, I need an exit strategy. I'm 55, I'm looking to retire. If I could double the money I'm making now and have it be a viable business, I will walk away from my job in a heartbeat. And in a way, I'm walking away from the benefits as well. But the money would justify leaving. And there are always opportunities and ways to do it. So first, while I was working here, I was taking classes in Interactive Trader. And it was amazing the things that I learned there. But as with anything, you have to become, you can't be a jack of all trades. You have to be a master of something. And you have to master it to the point where it's working for you. And, sometimes along the journey, it's okay to dabble if you find where you want to be. Right now, I think affiliate marketing is a good fit. It's not working right now. But one of the things that's very important is you have to be, in an intelligent way, stubborn, and find a next step or a change in order to make whatever it is work. Affiliate marketing is great because you can actually be anywhere in the world and make money. With real estate, you have to be there for the deal. I know I've heard of actually one of the real estate programs I took, which was Dean Graciasi Real Estate. He said you don't even have to get your hands dirty. You can just find deals, line up buyers. So basically using those yellow signs and all the different ways. It was his system was great. But affiliate marketing was more appealing to me because you can make money and not have to be anywhere. As long as you have an internet connection and information, and then as with anything, usually you have to in person. There's either summits, meetings, seminars, masterminds, whatever it takes to get to that next level. And it's the experience of those masterminds and the follow through, the coaching, and you're going to have to spend some money. You know, actually, it costs you money not to spend money because your results are going to be so slow. You would have been better just spending the money and being further down the road and successful. And sometimes in life, you get in where you fit in. You know, sometimes in life, you know, we act like it's this perfect thing where, you know, I did all this and, you know, it's not that. It's you get in where you fit in. Some places you'll fit in and move ahead, and in some places you won't. And in a way, I'm not really fitting in where I want to be at the job that I'm at. So I'm looking for a better way. And all of us should always have a sense of urgency and not wasting time. And I guess shiny object syndrome, and it's an ongoing battle. You know, not to look at media too much. Put your phone down and focus your mind, you know, or stop following social media and focus your mind. But, you know, the subject, once again, is redemption. No matter where you've come from and what you've done, you can change your life. And sometimes we don't take the time to be quiet and think about the big picture. You know, contrast. Our minds, you know, there's something called, you can Google this, the dopamine fast. And it's where you have to be dormant. Let your mind put the phone down. Because whenever you pick up the phone or whatever it might be, it's stimulation. And from overstimulation, we lose focus. And I'm battling this too. There are times that I'm more focused and times when I'm not. And so I have to really battle that. And there's times that I'm tired. And I just wish I had more of a consistent routine. What I try to do is wake up at 7 a.m. Ideally, if I could, I would like to wake up at 4 or 5, but I'm so tired because I've worked the night before. I work swing shift. But there is a way where every once in a while, maybe every other day, a minimum of once a week, stop doing everything. Don't talk to anybody over the phone, at least for an hour or two a day. Be quiet and think about what you need to focus on and make a to-do list. And do that. Cherish your time, cherish your mind. All your ideas you come up with, and you don't do anything with those ideas. You don't follow through. All of us are different, but we're the same. But at the same time, cherish the character of who you are. And those ideas you come up with, write them down, follow through on them. You might come up with something that nobody else has come up with, and it might make you wealthy beyond your wildest dreams. Or at least you have some power to suggest to an idea somebody might be willing to invest. If you can put it into a business plan, you never know. But all I can say is always have a sense of redemption and character and value who you are and your thoughts. Those thoughts come from your mind, body, and soul. You know, I was told by scientists that the stars have the same bacteria on them that we have. And so essentially the same matter that we are comes from those stars. And so psychologically, the energy that we have, spiritually, the energy that we have, okay, all of that makes you uniquely special. There is nobody 100% like you. But at the same time, because of the humanity, we have more the same than we do that's different. And many times people discriminate and are antisocial. And I understand people need their space, and certainly you don't want to force someone to talk. But there is something called this, you know, I guess here they call it the Seattle Freeze. But, you know, I was reading an article. Matter of fact, I looked it up because it was one of those thoughts and ideas I had, and I Googled it. And sure enough, Psychology Magazine talked about, you know, it's just better to talk to someone in passing. You know, you don't have to blur out your life story, but you can say hi to somebody and strike up a short conversation. And then if it leads to a longer one, that's fine too. And certainly you have to be wary of strangers because, you know, you don't know strangers, but it doesn't mean you can't necessarily talk to them. If it looks like somebody has a serious extreme problem or they're having a bad day, you know, you don't have to say hi to them or say hi to them in passing. And you don't have to strike up a conversation. But, you know, this life is so much more than what we think it is. And it's kind of like a blur. It's almost like the Matrix. When you blink, you will miss it. You'll miss the significance and the importance of how great your life can be. But it's like getting back to the other conversation about Psychology Magazine. They're saying just strike up a conversation because it releases cortisol, which is a negative hormone. It's a stress hormone. When you can just say hi to somebody and be cool, and you don't have to look out the side of your eye, they don't have to look at the side of their eye and pretend like they don't see you, when there's this internal anxiety and stress from not saying hi. And so you don't have to strike up a conversation. I try to allow people, I'll say hi to them, but I won't, continue to talk to them unless, and you have to understand something. Things have to happen in a natural way. If somebody is pushing a conversation on you, or that you have to talk to them, that's not natural. And so you want things to feel natural. And in the same way, if you're just meeting somebody, you might like that person or you don't like them, or just say hi and leave it at that. Or just have a nice conversation and leave it at that. So, it shouldn't be where you're almost having to look away because you're afraid of saying hi to somebody, like you have to marry that person. So there's this big stress, it doesn't have to be that. But things have to be natural, and just say hi to somebody and talk in passing. But, the humanity of being a human being means so much more than we give it credit for. And people are different and interesting. We all have a different story. In some cases, some people are surrounded around negative people, but yet they won't say hi to new people that could, at least elevate their mind or introduce an idea, or it could be a job offer, or it could be something that could change their life. And it's almost rude with the way some people look away and don't talk to people. But like I said, there's a natural balance to that. And it's better to have a balance to it than just don't talk to strangers at all. Because, that stranger might be the person that has to help you. And if you're not going to talk to them, that could be the next minute, hour that you're left stranded somewhere when someone could have helped you. Because life has a spontaneous, natural way of happening where, unplanned things happen and etc. So, I thank you for the blessing of everything. And, we're all in a journey. It's better to understand than to judge people. And a lot of times, if you just ask people instead of trying to judge who they are, whether it's ethnicity or job or anything, and the best thing to do is have a equal conversation where you exchange information than making it seem like an interrogation. So if if the first word out of your mouth is, how much money do you make? What kind of conversation is that? But if you are going to ask that, you could offer, and that, life happens in cycles. There's times that you're making a lot of money and times that you might very well be unemployed, because that's how real life is. But just to close, redemption, it doesn't matter where you've come from. There is a humanity, meaning human beings. Mahatma Gandhi said, the most important things are, we should not destroy nature, and we must not destroy human beings. So you have to decide if you're going to destroy or create or protect nature, or are you going to destroy or protect human beings? And there's a humanity to that. And there are times that there's a balance for us not to discriminate and try to, instead of being judging people, understand people. Because once you understand people, then there is peace. But if you're judging people, then you're doing that out of fear. And fear is something that is not founded. Many times we have fears, and most of our fears are not founded. But if you act on those fears, which is like anxiety, you'll be doing a lot of crazy stuff. And so what it is within reason, you have to trust within reason. We get in cars every day and drive down the road and trust those white lines and roads all the time. When so many people die in car accidents and so many other things that we trust. We trust the water, we trust electricity, we trust our employers to pay us. And there has to be enough trust in the world, so that means it has to be in a natural way given, but not completely given. So, meaning that there's a balance to that. And so this world can be such a better place, and I hate hearing about people needlessly dying because no one wants to help them. So to close, this is redemption, and it doesn't matter where you come from. You know, it adds up to a lot of these efforts that make a place for all of us that we can trust to live. You know, I help move boxes of food so people can eat through this company, and it's a cold storage company. So that's my close, and let's make the world a better place. Let's not be so negative. Let's be positive. I know you can't be too trusting, and you have to kind of look at people and not really judge, but understand people. Because, you know, and something else I would like to say, you know, we live in these times where there's so much decisiveness, and, you know, I'm just going to say it, white and black, or white people against color. And, you know, I love Donald Trump because America made him successful. And America can make all of us successful on some level. But at the same time, you know, if it wasn't for white people helping with civil rights that formed the kind of equality that you could believe in America, America wouldn't be the great place that it is. So, you know, that I'm going to make that my close, and I'm going to try to provide much more material and videos. But today's subject is redemption, and we need to make this world a better place. And through redemption, we can understand people and stop judging them negatively, because this world needs understanding, and with understanding comes peace. Why we were one of the most desired places to come to. All right. Love, peace, and understanding for everybody, and for the children in the future. And one thing that irks me, I'm going to use this in one of my songs, is picture a child starving in the wilderness and crying, and mankind is so greedy that they will not help that child. You know, most of our best ideas are lost due to the greed of war and senseless death. These could have been inventions and ideas that could have made humanity better. And those ideas died with those people or before they could come to fruition. And love has a transformative power. That's a quote from Martin Luther King. And it really does if you show that you care about people. It does matter. And so a lot of times in life, we have to almost have a spiritual perception of what to do in life. You know, using our mind also on our body, but, you know, knowing what to do and using your experience. It's almost spiritual as you think back through your mind how to solve problems. But if you think more from your heart and your spirit, you can solve those problems, and you'll find a lot of the outcomes won't be as negative as they have to be, and conflicts won't have to be. So let's make this world a better place, and a better place for our children and the future. Because, you know, when you're doing something bad, and could you picture your child, you're doing something bad, it could be killing somebody or beating somebody up for no reason, and then your child's looking at you act that way. Do you want them to grow up that way? I don't think you do. Because one day when it's your turn for someone to have that understanding and they don't, that's going to be you having to suffer. So let's make this world a better place. And that we do have enough resources here. But we have to stop being greedy. Almost in every place in the world, whether some people say that Atlantis doesn't exist, but historically it shows that it did, and that people could predict world events with accuracy because they were spiritually in touch. And as mankind has become more greedy, our spiritual side has shut down. And we don't have the same connection or community that we once did. And when you see these things happen where people don't care, and there's violence and there's conflict, I see this happening whether it's Holocaust, the Crusades, Rome falling, Caligula. You know, I see the same greed that has destroyed nations. And it doesn't have to happen. This is America. I'm forever going to believe in America. My parents used to sharecrop land, especially my dad came from Maynard and Conroe, Texas, and my mom came from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And then after that, Gary, Indiana. I just see where black people have worked so hard and we end up with the least. And I'm just saying it. And there comes a time when we have to look and search for things that are better. And there's a better way. And if you look through enough of the cracks of what's good, you'll find something. We need to change our communities where we're saving wherever you work, save 1%. If you got to get up early in the morning, how I got this job was I would have to get up at 4:30 or be at the door at 4:30 in the morning. Because I know if I was there every single morning at 4:30, I would work. But if I came late, there would be no work. So whatever you have to do a to-do list every day. Even if you put it in your phone or whatever it is, a to-do list of the most important things that are going to change your life. So for me, it's this business. So I get up early. And then if there's ideas, so right now I need to call coaching is what I need to do. That's what I'm going to do. As soon as I get $500 to pay them and let them guide me. But what I have to be doing is placing as many ads as possible. I'm looking at the videos. His name is John Crestani. And he's an internet instructor, very successful himself, and he's trying to help people. There were 3 other ones, Savage Affiliates before him, and before that, Legendary Marketing. And whatever it is, my next step is the coaching. I need to start putting up ads. You know, there's a lot of times I don't have the money to really pay for ads, so I'm looking for the free options. At the same time, if you go free, you can't really be as successful paying for the free stuff. But he talks about the free stuff. And so what I'm doing is the blog, put that all together, and then I'm going to be doing videos. So this one has ran long, and I apologize about that, but I hope you guys make a list of the messages, because there's always a message to everything, and there's a balance in our lives where we can make things better. All right, new year, no fear. Believe in yourself. We all have to stop being so pessimistic and start being optimistic. We should be positive and express belief that people can, whatever it is, instead of, because so many times people will say, oh, well, I'm doing this, and somebody will say something negative. And that can derail somebody. We have to stop doing that. Just say, well, I hope that works out for you. Go ahead and do your research and do the extra work to make that happen. I'd like to see you successful at that. And so many times we're just so negative, and we got to stop being negative and be positive. And try to understand people instead of judging people so negatively. So that's my close. Love for the world. And those people willing to do the work. And, there's enough resources out here for everybody, but we have to discipline ourselves to pursue those things. All right. So let me close this out. It ran too long already. All right. Be good, everybody. New year, no fear.